All right, welcome back to the Art Resistance Show, where we talk about pushing through any resistance that you have as an artist, as a person, and just pursuing excellence and pursuing the things that you want to do. Episode 2. Episode 1 was really short. Let's see if I can make episode 2 a little longer. So, we're talking about success and how it's kind of dictates how it can be dictated or who dictates success. I'll tell you right now, short answer, it's you. You're the only one who truly knows where you are and where you want to be. Sure, other people will post about their upcoming things, or you may post about your goals and aspirations, but you see people not interact with you, or you see people interacting with other people that are doing smaller things than you, and you wonder, why aren't these people interacting with me? And who knows? The algorithm might not be feeding your success to them, or it might be feeding it to them, and they're hating. So it's all really subjective. But as I come together and I'm putting together a bunch of stuff and working on different projects, I have to always make myself realize I'm not very public facing with all the cool stuff and cool projects that I'm involved in. I like to kind of keep to myself. I'm trying to build a little bit more of a presence online, just with sharing out my content and trying to do more things. But things like Instagram, where your brand and your face is really first forward and out there, I don't really share on that much. In fact, eventually, once I have my full studio setup that I've been talking about in my previous videos, we'll probably get there. And I'm using this kind of shooting on my Osmo Pocket 3 and stuff as a testing ground, and also getting used to talking on camera. The first video that I made on this channel was just very abrupt. I was just I was fired up. I had gone on a walk outside, and I just had this energy to talk. And I was like, let me just record. Let me just do it now. Let me do that thing that I've been wanting to do. And I talked about envisioning this space in my living room as a studio space, rather than filling it up with an expensive couch or something and taking up all this awesome space that I have to put together a little photo studio. So, I've always wanted to own a studio space, and then I started thinking about what I would want to do. And this kind of leads back to the whole success thing. It's what would I consider a successful channel or successful endeavor in this YouTube case? Because YouTube building takes years and years and years, and for the algorithm to even recognize you, and for somebody like me to even be a good speaker on camera, it takes years and years to get to. I haven't even hit order on the things that I wanted to buy for the studio yet, just because I'm second guessing myself. I'm this is a lot of money, blah blah blah. But I'm gonna convince myself here right on this video that I should just go ahead and buy it, because at the end of the day, it's a tax write-off for my business. I do freelance work outside of here, meaning I do freelance work that actually pays me money, not this kind of creative endeavor that doesn't bring me any revenue yet. And I could use it as a tax write-off for the revenue that I'm making through doing freelance work. Currently managing social media for a local music school that I work really closely with, and they're really good friends of mine. And so a lot of my income comes from that, and I'll do small one-off work every now and then as well, filming bands, filming artists. So I really love surrounding myself and telling artist stories. And so I think that really comes back to the goal of this channel. I'll know I'm successful if I'm able to tell artist stories and people are watching these stories on my channel. I know I'm successful if this series, this Art Resistance series, turns into a community. That's kind of how I envision it. I want other artists to come on to the series. I want this studio to come together, and where I'm able to host people in here, have some nice mics, have the great lighting that I want to order, have the nice backdrop here, and really create this awesome studio environment here, starting here in this apartment, and then whenever I move out of here, being able to bring that to my next space and continue kind of this endeavor. So I can see a few things happening on this channel. One is an artist spotlight kind of series, because I'm a documentary filmmaker at heart. So I want to start making kind of this EPK documentary videos for artists, because that's kind of my bread and butter. I love interviewing people, getting B-roll of them doing their thing, and putting together a package. Bread and butter. I love doing that. And then the second part of it I want is to expand this art resistance kind of experience. And so bringing in artists and them talking about their hardships, or them talking about just giving, what's the word for it? I'm not going to edit this. What's the word for it? Giving advice to other artists about how to, go about their endeavors, their artistic endeavors, and, how relating to them about how tough it is. And I want to build a community here on this channel where people start asking me questions, and I'm able to bring those questions to successful artists or unsuccessful artists that are still trying to, be their version of success, as I am, I do consider myself pretty successful because I do make a living doing my artwork, and I do make a living doing video work. It's just I'm not very front forward or front facing with it publicly to the world, and my goal is to definitely get there. So once my channel is at that point, I feel like I'll be a success. The same with the Instagram presence. Like, I want to get my Instagram presence up, and I also want to work on my musical endeavors. So when I'm starting to actively work on all those things and being on that journey, being on that path, I feel like I'm successful. Currently I'm still contemplating and resisting starting on it. And making these videos right here, one of my Osmo Pocket 3, me walking around my living room, is a barrier breaking moment. I want to look back at these videos. I want to see this studio come together. I want to see this whole channel come together. And I want to see kind of like the behind the scenes. Like, I want to post behind the scenes stuff on here. I want to share my experience as a filmmaker, and the lessons that I've learned on set, and the do's and don'ts of editing, the do's and don'ts of videography, the do's and don'ts of run and gun. Like, I have all these ideas. I make a list every time I think of something to talk about, and this was on the list. What does success mean to you? Not to anybody else. It doesn't matter what your success looks like to anybody else. It only matters what it looks like to you. So I'll see you guys next time on the art resistance conversation. There we go. I like that. I like the art resistance conversation more than a podcast, because it's not really going to be a podcast. It's going to be a conversation like this, either with me and you guys, or with me and somebody else and y'all. So feel free to pitch in. What does success look like to you, and what have you struggled with when it comes to success? Let me know.